The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey, what is going on, guys? This is Mark Luckenbaugh. Of course, you should all know me by now. You've heard me rant and rave on these videos for like over a year now. So I'm just gonna, you know, chat for a few seconds here, give everyone more chance to kind of show up. I see the attendees increasing. And hey, what's going on? I see Jeremiah, Dave. Good evening. Um, Afternoon for me, evening for you. How's everyone doing today? Everyone doing well, I hope, I presume. Good. That's good to hear, man. Hold on, I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing this wrong. These are recorded, by the way. But I'm doing this all wrong. Hang on. If you guys are ready to make millions and millions of dollars, press one and press stuff on your keyboard and get your credit cards out and yeah, there we go. Isn't that how that's how Webbies run, right? That's how Webbies run. Yeah, keyboard. There we go. Everyone came alive. Everyone wants to get some big money. Byron, what's up, buddy? So glad to have you on, man. Good to see you. Tyler, Simon, Clint, my dude, Clint. Actually, Clint, hit me up after this, man. I have to give you some more money. I know that's never a bad thing to hear, but some people ask, hey, why did you ever create LCT? And it was like just to meet guys like Clint that I can hand my money to and patronize their services. And oh, we have Matt Stack in the audience. That's phenomenal. Hello, Matt. It's long time no see. And we just give it a few more minutes, guys. I guess we can start with oops, sorry. Hey, what's going on, Paul? I didn't see you there. Mike, what's up? I love all the keyboard action we got there. It's yeah, so who's ready for the weekend? Are we working this weekend? What are we doing, guys? I'm gonna probably spend another weekend working, grinding. Yeah, I try not to use that word too much, Jeremiah. It seems like everyone ever is like, hey, grinding this weekend, and it's like, I try to be a little different. Okay, Matt, I'm not reading that out loud. That's just not happening. Hey, Lee, welcome to the party. I'm glad you're here. As great as it is for you to be here, it's just as great for me to have you here. And people are filing in, so taking massive action. That's what I like to hear, baby. Make that money over the weekend. I had legitimately just closed 2 clients before I jumped on here, and I have another guy primed up. He actually owns an SEO agency. He's looking to potentially get me as a consultant to help scale his agency out. So pretty exciting day. Has me amped up for the weekend. Have this Webby with all these beautiful LPB people. I'm having a good time. I'm having a great time. Mike said less beard, more plaid. I love it. I love it. Yeah. All right, guys. So just a couple of quick things before we get to any questions. First off, this is the first time around. I did do this for a mastermind, kind of like an inner circle mastermind we did a few months ago. So I know my way around a Webby a little, but don't be gentle because I don't use these things to sell or typically or anything like that. So I'm not going to be the Webby guru here, but I like the Q&A. I like to interact with you guys. I have a lot of fun. Um, but anyway, we're gonna announce the winner. We ran 2 contests. One to get in our inner circle, which we charged about 4,500 for that a few months ago, and we're actually gonna add some more to it. And it's a very small group. We're very selective about who we let in. I'm sorry. What's up, Chris? What's up, Jacob? Glad to have you guys. We're gonna announce those winners probably either the end of October or early November. We just want to give it time to get everything settled down, but we are going to announce the winners for the inner circle coaching we did, and also to chat with Brian Willie, get some map stuff. That guy's seriously a maps genius. Um, you, you know, it, Typically he'd be on the call with me. He had a client meeting too, so I said I'd just wing it. I've never been scared to do some Q&A, so here we are. But yeah, I want to tell you guys we are going to announce that we didn't forget about you. We're going to do that. Also, guys, we are going to take away the the trial, man, I want to share some more Ninja stuff with you guys. I want to kind of, you guys will obviously be grandfathered in forever where you're at, but I want to increase the barrier of entry a little bit. I want to share some more wicked stuff. I already got some feedback. People were starting to see big jumps in rankings from this stuff. We had a guy who just about tacked $10,000 onto his income through a client he got with the video auditing. So that just, as much as that should drive everyone to step their game up, it drives me to share more. Because essentially, I'm not a churn and burn product type of guy. If I charge any amount of money for something, I really want people to take it to the next level with it. So because of that, it's driving us to release some more wicked content. And so we are going to be taking that trial away, and we also are going to increase the price. Obviously, everyone's grandfathered in, but we are going to bump the price up. Just from what else I've seen on the market with the content we have now and what we're releasing, it's undervalued. And but like I said, don't worry, guys. Especially our inner launch from LCT, we're always going to take good care of our LCT people. But if outsiders want to come into the LCT family, they have to they, they have to they have to pull out some of those greenbacks. Am I right? Chris, the on-page and market research modules are friggin' awesome. Thanks, man. On-page is so overlooked because it's like it's so much content on it. But when I scan through it and I checked Moz, and I'm not a guy who bashes Moz. I mean, they have a phenomenon. I'm pretty sure they do like 10, 14 million a year. I mean, I don't bash companies that have that level of success, but it seems like everyone's missing a little something from their on page. So I want to try to create some actionable, concise videos, and yeah, I want to do more like that. Sometimes I have to get a little conceptual when the videos run long, but that was one of the biggest pieces of feedback I got from our original LCT content was like, man, you need to get to like, be a little more charismatic in the videos and get to the point. But anyway, guys, we have a good many people on board now, and I just wanted to give a few announcements. We are going to announce those winners, and we're gonna take away that trial and start bumping the barrier of entry up a little bit because I want to share some cooler stuff with you guys, and that's how we're gonna do it. Dave, on page is great. When is the fulfillment service opening up? We had to we had to pause that temporarily. Just I want to make a better platform for client management, so when people add their clients into into the dashboard, it gets they can like track rankings in there. Sorry guys, I'm closing some screens out. Whoops. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I wanted to close some screens out quick, but I wanted to improve the platform a little bit where people can manage their clients in that dashboard, and they can, check rankings in the dashboard and just have everything in there. So we have a SERP tracking tool we uploaded to the dashboard. We have a custom support ticket system in there. We're hiring more people on the support team so we can be more, proactive rather than just reactive all the time. And just ASAP, man. We really want to get it back open too because we've seen some astounding rank increases from it. We have a lot of people on the front page with it, so it's definitely something we want to expand on as well. Um, Philip said lost audio. Just you have to yell at me if my audio goes bad. I actually I'm hard plugged into the internet box now because when I used to run these on Wi-Fi, it sucked a lot. Okay, thanks, Matt. Um, all right, let's have the questions, guys. Start hitting me with it. Whatever you have. It doesn't necessarily have to pertain to these modules either. Anything you're struggling with in your business, with your SEO, with anything. And if it's something I can't answer, we'll mark it down. If it's more something to do with maps. I have a lot of experience with maps, but Brian's just the maps guy. So I really like when he answers those questions. But we'll do the best to get you guys taken care of today. Okay. All right. So the first one comes from Shane. He said, I have a new dentist client. Couple of questions. One, is it better to start off with a city-based domain, such as city-name-dentist.com, or have that be a city of a state-based domain such as statenamedentist.com/city-name okay, which is easier and faster to rank. Okay, sorry, that was a lot to read off and have you guys grasp. So basically, you have a new dentist client. There's a lot of ways you can do it. Okay, you can start with the brand name, and these all work. If you guys go do some just reverse engineering in different SERPs, all three of these examples are going to work. I'm going to cover all three of them super fast, and then I'm going to also really briefly explain how to handle each one because each one of them needs optimized a bit different. You can go with brandname.com. That would be doctor whatever the heck his name is.com, or the name of his business. It could be like Dr. Seuss's dental sedation, doesn't really matter.com. Okay, and then you can actually rank the homepage, the.com, for his keyword. Okay, and because you don't use the keyword in the URL, you can get just a tad bit more aggressive with your on-page keyword density. Now, don't go crazy. Still exercise some, intelligence with that, and you can get a little bit more aggressive with your backlink anchor texts as well. But again, you don't want to go crazy. You don't want to say, hey, I used a brand name URL. It's time to turn up, or whatever the kids are doing these days. You don't want to do that. What I like to do is we make a partial match domain, and Matt and I do this for lead gen sites. We do this I really like the partial match domain, and that's where, I'm getting a keyword in there, but I'm also getting something that emulates a real brand. So for instance, it could be like, oh man, like Seattle Roofing Pros.com. Okay, so it's like you have Seattle Roofing in there. So when the search engine crawls your domain, it's like, hey, this domain's probably somewhat relevant to Seattle Roofing because it's in the domain, but it also has the pros there to kind of make it, not exactly an EMD. Now you have to be careful with those. You don't want to get quite as out of control with keyword density and anchor texts, but we keep our density low anyway, and we're very conscientious about our backlinking and our anchor text and stuff. But we have just massive, massive success with those. That's my preferred thing is definitely the PMD, the partial match domains. And then of course you have EMDs, and that's exact match domains. A lot of people say they don't work anymore. That's crazy. They work They work really well. They really do. It's just what you have to do is do a lot of URL anchor texts. Even for your contextual links and everything, you should use a lot of anchor. And what you can essentially do is convince Google and other search engines that is the brand name. Okay, now you could obviously, there's gonna be a little bit of issues finding exact matches anymore. They're a lot harder to find. You can still find them, which is another reason I like partial match domains. You can throw anything in there to make it sound like a brand. You don't have to worry about availability quite as much. But you have to be really careful with exact match domains because it's going to be easy to hit a filter if you get a little too wild with your anchor text or your keyword density or anything. So, honestly, which is easier and faster to rank, Shane? It's tough to say, man. I prefer partial match. Does that mean it's faster? No, not necessarily. I've seen EMDs index on the on the bottom of the first, top of the second page, but just with our linking and our SEO strategy, I prefer partial match. So hopefully that helped. Um, okay. Okay, Alan, ranking on maps, the new three pack sucks. Yeah, Brian Willie's actually completely redoing his maps module specifically so people can take some action and rank in the three pack. And it's more important now than ever. Maps is just so important, and he's working on that module now. It's something we're going to release in the very near future. That's actually going to be released specifically in LPB. We're not giving that away to the group. We originally gave the first map module for free as a Christmas gift last year, and so he is redoing it specifically for you guys, and it's going to concentrate on strategies he uses to rank in the three pack, or the snack pack as I like to call it. Um, Brian, how do I get with the SERP tracking tool you have? I guess you were talking about the thing we're using for our client management dash for white label clients, and that's not something we really have as a standalone, but I use Pro Rank Tracker in just my day to day. I love the shareable reports I can make, especially I do a lot of stuff with partners. Matt and I partnered up. I have, a bunch of SEO savvy clients. I'm doing a quote clients where it's almost more consultative, but I like sharing reports with them, and I really like Pro Rank Tracker. If I would promote that like I owned it just because I use it. I found stuff like CertBook is just it works, and any rank tracker is gonna mess up from time to time and give you results that are like, yeah, that's not where it's ranking at all. That's just gonna happen. But a lot of the other ones I don't really like the reports, the shareable reports. It's not quite as intuitive. So I use ProRank Tracker. We don't currently have, the technology we're using for our white label client management is just specifically in that dashboard right now. But we are discussing kind of opening some stuff up to people like different client dashboards and stuff. So who knows what'll happen in the future? But as of right this second, I'd suggest I'd say use Pro Rank Tracker, man. I love it. Um, Craig said, Mark, I heard you guys were developing a lead gen theme. Any more details on that? Yeah, actually, the guy developing it, he started out in one of our inner circle masterminds, and we like just put our heads together and said like we just basically brain dumped every single pain point we have with all of these lead gen and local themes and stuff, and he's been working on that for months. He told me he would be ready for beta testers come fall. So we're there, and he actually hit me up maybe a week or two ago and said he would have something working in the next few weeks. So stay tuned, guys. Any beta testers we'll get right from LPB. We'll make sure you guys have first nabs on getting in, using it, giving us your feedback and stuff. But yeah, that's still on schedule, and we're gonna launch it. It's really incredible, man. It's just fantastic. We're gonna try to eliminate so many other plugins you use and make everything just beautiful. And that's the biggest thing is we want the sites to look great. It seems like most of the lead gen sites and stuff you get just look terrible. And we want to have all the schema capabilities and just everything just plug and play. You just type in just type in and drop down bars and as much drag and drop as possible. Just really great for marketers who, don't feel like tweaking child themes all day and they would rather just get sites churned out and ranked. So yeah, as soon as we're ready for beta testers, we'll give you guys first stabs on that. Um, all right, Byron, awesome question, man. What measurable metrics do you send to your typical SEO client each month? I know it can vary, but do you usually measure benchmarks with rankings, traffics, leads, etc.? Traffic and leads initially, and it's something I think the biggest issue people have when they close clients, and probably not you as much, Byron, just because you've been doing this a long time as well, but people don't articulate like reasonable expectations. Okay, like if we're on the phone and I don't know what your expectation is, then there's no way of me controlling your emotion over the next few months while this happens. There's still a lot of clients I talk to that are under the assumption that SEO, they're going to see some type of massive result from that within the first 30 days. And we all know from being in the trenches and doing it, that's not necessarily true 9 times out of 10. It's taken 45 to 90 days plus. So I start with leads and traffic, and that's why I try to sell like more holistic solutions, unless I'm selling to a client who really understands it's going to take some time. I try to mix in PPC, that way I can show them leads faster. I try to see if they have any existing traffic. Can we do any CRO to kind of turn some of that into leads? There's a lot of different strategies and stuff we implement up front to see, basically before we even give a price, we look at all of the current standings, okay, their rankings, their traffic, whatever, and any type of social social interaction and traffic they get, stuff like that. And we say, what can we do for these people to make us look awesome? And how we look awesome is to deliver, leads and whatnot. So, that's why we usually try to bill in for AdWords, Bing campaigns, social media campaigns, all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. Sometimes you get a big win, and in the second month you say, hey, you jumped onto the first page or something, and that's a pretty big benchmark I like to show them. But we try not to say, hey, I'll see you again in 3 or 4 months and we'll talk about your page one rankings, because a lot of people just they need nurtured through that. They're not going to keep sending you $2,000 or $3,000 a month and not see what they would consider tangible results. So hopefully that helped. It's a good question though, man. All right, good question. What is the best way to figure out if you're over optimized on page? Wow. Okay. The first thing I would do is go through the audit that I have in the module for you guys and start just checking things. Use the SEO book, or I'm sorry, the SEO book where you can check the keyword density and whatnot. Make sure when you optimized your images, they weren't all like exact match keywords and stuff. So do a quick audit on your site, and worst case scenario, the best thing you can do is test. If you see you have the keyword in your URL and your meta description in your page title and your H1, and then 2% throughout the body, and this, don't take these numbers as like you know as what you should base everything on. These are just figurative, but if you see the kind of a trend there, just do some testing with dialing it back, add some more content with LSI keywords and whatnot, and kind of just quantify the result you get from there. A cool trick Brian Willie and I were using, I'd say it's about a year and a half ago, is it's right when they really got crazy with the panda filters, whenever that was, year and a half ago. Time flies. But what we were doing, if we would get a site stuck on page 2, we would go and get a 2,000 word article written. And I mean, not like a Fiverr gig. It was a very well written article, and it was super, super under optimized. It was just packed with like latent semantic ideas and phrases. It was very themed. It was themed towards our niche, but it wasn't like, Seattle roofer, roofer in Seattle WA roofer. That's a big thing a lot of people do kind of unconsciously, like they're optimizing for 2011 as well. So just make sure it reads human, it reads like a human wrote it. And then, if you really think you're caught in some type of filter that's holding you back, go ahead and just drop like 2,000 words of fresh content on it and see how it does with that. That was really awesome for getting us onto page one more than one time. Tons of times we've used that. All right, lots of questions coming in, guys. I am on it. Clint said, "Stay out of Seattle." I'm sorry, buddy. I actually used to have a partner out there till I bought him out, and we did a lot of business out there, man. But I'm not there as much anymore, so all is well. Okay, next question. I have an established site with some rankings but want to apply what I'm learning. My issue is with my existing permalinks. I need to change them. What's the best approach? Do I just do a permanent 301 redirect, or what's the best optimum LCT/LPB protocol? Awesome question. Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you want to change the permalink to, go ahead and make the new page and do the permanent 301 on a page per page basis. You're exactly right. So I know all I'm doing is validating what you already knew how to do, but yeah, you're absolutely right, man. That's all you have to do. And okay, we're moving down this list. Yeah, Byron said EMDs work great. People just got to do it right. Absolutely agree, Byron. I'm just not super comfortable. I prefer PMDs. It's my little happy place I like to live in. So, all right, another question from Alan. What is the fastest and easiest way to delete keyword density if you find that your website is over optimized on Majestic? Um, Okay, cool. Same advice I just gave. Get a brand new, well-written article. Dilute the heck out of the keyword. you want it to be as low as, if you think you're in a filter, then you want it to be as under optimized as possible. But if you only drop your exact match in there once in an entire article, you're fine. Just lots of themed content, latent semantic keywords, stuff like that. So, that's just the same advice I just gave. That's the best way to do it, is just get some fresh, well written content on there with your LSI keywords. Dilute, not delete. Sorry, yeah, dilute the keyword density. Yeah, that's what I would do. Sorry about that. All right. Has the maps training been updated for the 3-pack? No, Dave. Just to reiterate, I know I see a lot more people coming in. Brian's redoing the entire maps training just for LPB. Anyone in LPB will get the new training, and that's what it is. So he's redoing that. He's working on it now, so we just have to wait for him to get done. Shouldn't be too long, and he'll give it to you guys. All right. Mike says, I purchased an email list. The legit email marketing software sites like MailChimp, Constant Contact, GetResponse, etc. will frown upon you uploading that list to their server. What email service are you people using? Okay, a really good question. First, I want to jump in with GetResponse. You can you can get away with that in GetResponse. And we just uploaded a list to Aweber as well, but I know a lot of those contacts were already in that list, so that could have had something to do with it. I'm not sure, okay, but something you can use is Email Octopus. Is that's actually a guy in our group named Gareth who owns it, and they use Amazon's technology, but you can get away with that stuff pretty well. But honestly, I mean, I imagine if you purchase the list, it depends on the size of it. You can also use Gmail. I mean, like when we do our video audits and stuff, we use Gmail. I have my guy upload everything through Gmail. We make our templates in there, and just like in the videos, we kind of track everything we can with Banana Tag. So hopefully that helps. If all else fails, go with Email Octopus from Gareth Bull. I think it's Gareth Bull. Pretty sure. Mike says, looks like videos has been separated in Google. Can you still can you still rank YouTube vids on Google Web? Absolutely. Absolutely, Mike. Well, I actually just ran into one today. I had a query that was like a how-to query. Video was up there. I'm definitely not a video guru. You can talk to Brian in the group. He's pretty good with video. Also in our main LCT group, Ray Lane and Frank Schwartz and Tasia, they're all in there. Those guys are just monsters with videos, and there's more too. I don't want to offend anyone. There's a lot of good video guys that could probably give you a more elaborate response, but my best guess on something like that is Google's just always constantly testing what results they're serving and how people are interacting with them, what type of user experience data they can find by delivering those results. And if a video does really bad, like they rank a video and no one's interacting with it, or a lot of people click it and then click out of it, they could essentially say, hey, we're not going to serve this video for the specific query anymore. So that could have happened, and it could have happened on a larger scale as well. I'm not sure, but definitely hit up Brian in the LPB group. Just go ahead and tag him, or also Ray Lane or Frank Schwartz in the LCT group. Both are just monster video guys. So hopefully that'll get you the help you need. Okay, thanks for the help. On a partial match, is it okay to put their branding stuff on it? Their name, address, etc., excuse me, or do you have to go generic? Yeah, see, the thing you're gonna run into with that is if you go partial match, if they already have an existing brand and existing citations on the internet, you definitely don't want to emulate that. Okay, unless you have the login to every single citation ever made and can go in and mitigate it that way, or if you use like Yext or something, doesn't really matter. If but that's not always the best way to go. I would follow the videos I'm doing now. More are going to drip out early this coming week about getting the address. But when I do PMDs for lead gen, the phone number is a local specific tracking number, and the address is a complete made-up address, which I'll show you guys how I figure out what address to use. That's the videos coming Monday. Might be able to get them to you guys sooner, but don't don't drop kick me if I can't. Monday at the latest, those videos will be there, and that's how I generate my NAP. I make a fake brand. I use a local specific tracking number, and then I make a fake address essentially, and that's really good. But it's great to also control that property. It's fantastic to rank and do work to properties you own rather than a client. So you're off to a great start. All right. I want that theme. Yeah, Brian, we'll get it out to you, man, as soon as we're ready for beta testers. LPB and our inner circle get the first dibs. So we'll make sure you guys get in there, and we want to just make it incredible because not so we can sell it, but so I can use it. We want to completely, just to me, I don't know. We build a ton of sites, and it's like that's a huge pain point for us is having decent themes that you don't need to do tons and tons of work to. It's nice to be, nice to install a theme, be able to do all of your optimization within the theme, and it's all drop menus, plug and play, drag and drop, and just be done. Plus, we're setting it up for conversions. So we're going to have click to call capabilities in there. The click to call icons that we found that work the best, the layouts of the pages are going to be designed how we've found that local sites convert the best. So it's gonna be pretty incredible. And I guess I'm biased because it's gonna be our theme, but it's gonna definitely be pretty interesting. Do you have any SEO tips for a dentist practice that change addresses 2 times? Yext, definitely Yext. We're actually gonna have the one of the Yext partners. Well, that's not. It's someone at Yext. It's one of their top marketing people. We're actually gonna have them on a Webby. I've been talking to Yext for a while. They want me to do some content for them and whatnot. But they actually have an awesome platform. I was using it, and as much local marketing as I did, I always tried to avoid Yext, but especially if you have issues like that, the suppression for duplicate listings so cheap compared to anything else you're going to find, any other solutions. And they're actually most of the I want to say, I don't know if all of them, but most of the sites that integrate with Yext are actually connected through API. So I'm going to do some content on how you guys can actually, like, for people that rank parasites, you can actually get data on who clicks on the parasite and how they interact with your parasite pages, which is just amazing. You can optimize them for click-throughs better, like you can't if you don't have that API integration. So there's a lot of really cool things that come with Yext, and we've been talking to them. We've been trying to get a killer deal for LCT, and they definitely want to tap our market, obviously. But we're trying to get the best deal before we kind of bring them on, and that's pretty much where negotiations are at right now. We're just trying to get a better dollar deal for you guys. But that's what I do, Joe. I definitely get Yext and use Yext to suppress those listings. It's gonna work well, and you almost have to position it as a massive pain point to the client itself and see if they can cover your Yext bill. Honestly, you know what? I have a Yext subscription. Joe, get in touch with me via PM afterwards, and I'll have one of my guys either in house or one of my VAs do it for you. We'll just have it do. We'll have them suppressed for you, and we're not going to charge you any markup. I'll do that for you. I have no problem doing that. Help you out a little bit because Brian says beta tester here. I guarantee it, buddy. Okay, Ed says, what lead gen theme you recommend in the meantime? Oh man, honestly, I can't recommend one. I'll tell you what worked really well for us, and this might seem obscure, but we've taken on bounce pages before and just moved them onto the domain just because they convert so much better, but it's still not super intuitive. Honestly, the best thing you can possibly do is run ads and get someone off of freelance or something that can do them for you. I just ran another big batch of ads maybe a month ago and got like 15 just amazing developers that I interviewed. And but honestly, just to use a theme, I can't really recommend one. Even on our lead gen sites, I don't really love any of the themes. They're like, ugh. Or like, if a company ever wants to come and really buy this, we're gonna have to put like serious time and effort into redesign because it just doesn't look that great to me. And it's, it's a lot of manual work to get them set up to how they're really going to convert and whatnot. Okay. Was going to try Google AdWords pay per call for a dental client. What are some other quick lead sources you can recommend for dentists, paid or non-paid, while ranking the site? Yeah, I mean honestly, the Google AdWords is great. Depending on the size of the city, don't negate Bing. Everyone hates on Bing, but Bing does have a percentage, and I'm running a bunch of Bing campaigns right now, and they're impressing, and I'm getting leads. So I mean, don't neglect Bing right away. If it's in a larger city, you can definitely drum up some calls with Bing. Other than that, for dentists, I mean, it depends really how much they're paying you, how much time you can invest. But you can try to set up some type of loyalty program with them, some type of CRM. They have a ton of dental tools. I work with a lot of dentists myself that you can kind of it helps them manage existing customers. It gives them like SMS updates to come in for their appointments and stuff. So that's a way you can add some value. But I mean, as far as leads for dentists, I mean, you don't want to get too crazy offline unless you're really getting paid to go offline. I mean, you could get some strategic partnerships with, you know, some like I know dentists and orthodontists work together a lot. They refer business to each other, but that's a lot of offline work, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend that unless you're getting paid a lot of money every month as a consultant. So something to consider. You're doing everything right. Try to get the phone calls in there with the paid ads while you're doing the SEO. Any plans to have an LPB depository for contracts, SEO, PPL, etc., credit card transaction forms, test-proven scripts for email outreach, etc.? Yeah, absolutely, Mike. I completely forgot I have the videos done for the video auditing and never sent them over to Matt and Brian. But that contains a bunch of scripts. Yeah, we'll have to figure out. I don't know if Matt's still on here or not. I might have bored him away, but we'll have to figure something out for that just to make everything. Oh, you know what? We might use the maybe we use the file section of the Facebook group or something. But we'll find somewhere to put everything. That way, you guys, it's accessible for you guys. But that's a really good suggestion, Mike. We'll do that for sure. All right. I'm going to be developing a proposal to a company that does marketing and biz development for almost 50 doctors' offices. All of the offices share the same website domain. I'm sorry, same website, domain.com/locations /city hyphen one, city hyphen two, etc. Yeah, need some clarity about what you mean about setting up mini sites. Simon, honestly, man, a lot of our lead gen sites are structured just like that. Domain.com excuse me, /locations /city one /city two. There's actually nothing wrong with that at all. We use that. Even I know you were worried about the duplicate content, and that's okay. A lot of ours have a lot of dupe content on it as well. Um, a lot of people say the rule is there's no duplicate content penalties in local queries. It's actually not 100% accurate. It's more based on the intent of the query, whether it's a more commercial, someone that's seeking out like a local business rather than like more of an informational query. So I don't want to get too deep into that because it just honestly can get kind of confusing with how Google formatted that patent and how they worded everything. But we use that. We use that exact setup and it works great. What I meant by mini sites is if you would take one location that you were working on, actually build a PMD around that location, for that location, and then you would have to make up. You can keep the branding pretty similar if they want you to, and then just do the exact thing I did with the tracking numbers and the addresses so you can get citations and whatnot, and maybe just rank individual sites. That way you also control them. If you're building like satellite sites like that, you can actually control the site, and if they stop paying, you still have that asset. But you can do the domain.com /locations /city one, city two, city 20. I mean, we do it with 30 to 50 cities per site usually just to get started. They rank really well. You can dupe most of the content over and over and over. The thing is, you want to make sure you change the essentials. Change out the NAP, obviously. Change out the schema. Change out the Google embed codes. And we also add, we get like cheap content, and we have someone, a native English speaker, someone in house, go give it a once over, and then they add that to each different page. So each page does have about 400 to 600 words of unique content, but the core, and we also hide that as well. We hide that content, but the core page design is all duplicated. So, but it is good to have unique content. I mean, that's going to always be the more sustainable thing. Thanks for that link, Matt. Yeah, it's tools.seobook.com/general/keyword hyphen density. So that's awesome. Yeah, it's an awesome tool for checking your site's page out. Um, Julius asked, how would you go about providing proof for prospective clients when you don't have any, e.g. ranked sites? Really, really good question. Now, there's a lot of ways you can do this. Probably one of the easiest ways is if you actually rank something for them. A lot of people like to do videos. If you do something for like a long tail, it'll rank really quick. As far as that, I mean, if you don't have any sites you already ranked, why not make a few? Get a couple lead gen sites together, even if it's in very small areas for very low comp terms, just so you have some stuff that's ranking. I know a guy I gave that same advice to probably about 8 months ago. I was like, man, just find some super long tails in a really small city, or I mean like a small area, and just start ranking sites in this small area. And he actually did just that, and he leveraged that to land a ton of clients over the next couple of months. So, that's always a good one. I mean, if you don't have any ranking properties, go ahead and start ranking some. Also, if you're not comfortable ranking videos, try out parasite pages. Especially pages that rank. Facebook still does pretty well. Um, LinkedIn pause posts can rank pretty quickly. Of course, Yelp pages and stuff like that. Try stuff like that. It's just try to improvise. Show them something that ranks, and you know if you have to rank a few like little lead gen sites in some smaller areas just to get that proof, then that's what you need to do. Simon asked about the microsites. Should they each get their own full website with good content, etc., or is the way where I can use the current website and run some super SEO on it? Yeah, again, man, you can use that current setup. You can. My biggest thing is if it's all dupe content, just get some 500 word articles and throw it in an accordion on the page or something, just so you have some unique content and you can start working it just like that, no problem. All right, here is a massive question. I actually have to make the thing bigger. There we go. All right. Oh, Robert asked, in almost every case when doing keyword research using Google AdWords Planner, I rarely see the geo modifier in the search numbers. Yet in all my page development, I have the geo modifiers everywhere. So my question is, in your experience, what percentage of searchers are actually using the geo modifier? In almost every case when doing keyword, whoa, oh, that got copied and pasted. Oh wow, that was just the same message copy and pasted a bunch of times. Sorry about that. So that's the question. Yeah, that's tough with the whole search intent and how people search, but I mean, I always like to rank for those. I do find when I rank for, with the geo-specific modifier, it generates a lot of traffic. But just like I was telling someone the other day, excuse me, a lot of times when you rank for those, as long as your page is set up to really stress the location to Google, you're gonna rank for the normal keyword based on when people search from geographically relevant IPs anyway. So it's really tough to tell, exactly where it comes from. I mean, that's a good thing to look in Google Webmaster Tools after you link it to analytics, which we'll have a module about that coming up. I'm just finishing that up. Really actionable Google Analytics training. But that's the best way the best way is just to see where they're coming from. But yeah, I found that just ranking for the keyword plus the geo modifiers are pretty major. And when I do searches, I use the geo modifiers. So, that's also something to consider. Tyler asked, do you plan on adding any training or tips on actually selling the potential client once you have them on the phone? Maybe some common questions they ask or some little tricks to close the sale. Actually, I have planned out I'd love to do more sales training. I really, really like doing sales. And I'm just convinced that if you can sell, you'll always just have a way to generate income. Because if you can sell one thing, you can sell another. As long as you're passionate about it, you can definitely get people to buy into it. So, yeah, I do plan on doing some basic sales training, and I guess that's probably just how I could have answered that instead of getting all long-winded about it. But yeah, we'll definitely add some cool sales tips and tricks in there for you guys. Okay. Lee, during the on-page videos I saw in your Google Analytics, you have a dashboard called SEO analysis. Could you explain how to get that up? I've tried but can't get a dashboard set up like that. Thank you in advance. Absolutely, Lee. That's actually going to be a big part of the training. And if you also, almost forgot, if any of you guys follow Ryan Stewart on his blog, if you type in Webris, Webris, plus, like the plus sign, like you'd be doing addition, um, Google Analytics dashboard or something like that, Google Analytics, it'll actually bring you up the page where he gives you his dashboard. All you have to do is like it or something. It's a social share button, and if you share it, it'll actually upload it for you. You can add it to your analytics and then configure it or customize it how you want. But yeah, we'll also show you how to build your own custom dashboard in the training that's going to come out about Google Analytics. So in the meantime, if you need something like yesterday, go to Webris plus Google Analytics dashboard or Google Analytics in general, and it'll bring that dash up. You can just swipe his. Really, you guys should follow his blog anyway. He's a good marketer. I like him. Um, Okay, Jeremiah says when building a multi-service lead gen site for local services, after a branding campaign, would you recommend creating a local franchise SEO strategy or stick with national SEO with city doorway pages? Yeah, we've been doing them with the city doorway pages. We just try to establish the main site as like an authoritative brand, like a real multi-location company. That's how we've been doing them. Yeah. Jesus said, I'm pretty late here. Hey, better late than never, man. Great to have you. Thanks for stopping by. Do redirects leak link juice? Absolutely, Dave Barber. Anytime you do a redirect, you're going to lose a little percent of the link juice, but it's not really as impactful as some people would lead you to believe. Jacob says, what do you mean, you people? I'm not here to offend, friend. You're welcome, Mike. Thank you for that. Uh, Hi, do you have a process and preferred tools for measuring keyword competition? Matt actually did a brief video for that in our launch sequence. Maybe he could share that specific video to the group or something. But honestly, I don't use a lot of competition measuring tools anymore. I never really did get into them. It's just I just know competition's based on the size of the city and the niche. And for anything more national, maybe they would be better. Maybe it would give you a better insight if you had a tool. But I'm just not big on tools. But I know Matt uses some stuff. If you could holler at him in the group, and maybe he can drop his keyword research video in there and stuff, and the different tool we use to kind of find awesome lead gen niches and stuff based on competitive analysis from a tool. But we'll see if he can drop that in for us. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to take a drink here. Awesome job. People showed up with their questions. Pretty decent crowd, too. Oh, excuse me, guys. All right, let's keep going. Joseph, what themes do you recommend that are both good for SEO but user friendly at the same time? I know a lot of people use B themes, but again, I'm not super crazy about most of the themes on the market. I think Joe Troyer is supposed to have a lead gen theme as well. I mean, that's probably not bad, but like I said, I I don't know. I'm not big on a lot of the themes. Ryan said you have to pay monthly forever with Yext. Wouldn't it be better to correct citations at the aggregators with something like Moz Locals? I found with Yext you really only have to pay till they're suppressed, and then you can just monitor them. So I just would pay for the first month or two, and then I'd be done. Especially with the price of Moz Local, and I mean you're gonna get quicker results with Yext too because they're actually connected to those sites via API. Where Moz is, I don't believe Moz is. I'm pretty sure that's a proprietary Yext thing, and if I'm wrong, I apologize. But I wouldn't do it I wouldn't do an ongoing thing there. I would just I'd do it till I'd do the suppressed listing service and then stop. It wouldn't be a definitely would not be an ongoing thing. I would cancel that quick, fast, and in a hurry. Oh, just some more people signing up to beta test the theme. Awesome stuff, guys. We'll let you know as soon as it's ready. With the 7-pack down to a 3-pack and my clients' top keywords being dominated with directories and aggregator sites like Better Business Bureau, Yellow Pages, Home Advisor, Angie's List, Thumbtack, Manta, etc., do you feel that local SEO map services are sustainable as a business model? Absolutely, man. I've run a 7-figure agency off of providing that. It's just, I mean, it's not hard to establish and optimize a site and get it above those. We rank above those directories and aggregators all the time. Is it getting more difficult? Absolutely. It's going to continue to get more difficult as Google tries to not not showcase any lead gen site or any site they don't feel is an authoritative brand. But yeah, it's definitely a sustainable business model. But at the same time, you should always be diversifying anyway. So we offer a lot of holistic services, all the way from we do PPC services, social media stuff. We have, a lot of times we just arbitrage that as well. So it's not like, we have to hire a full team. I only have one AdWords guy in house, and the rest of it's arbitraged through Qzx900. But it's a service we definitely offer, and you should always be trying to diversify your income streams by adding more services on. Um, Files on the Facebook page would work well, says Neil. Yeah, I agree. Maybe we'll add scripts and stuff um, up into the file section of Facebook. That way everyone can grab them and they're accessible. Um, Matt Stack just reminded us he is here to rock us like a hurricane. Thank you, Matt. We appreciate that. Um, Ed says, what would you do to get a couple of clients in the next 2 weeks? Oh, I love that question. Man, it really depends what type of client you want to go after. I'd honestly, my biggest thing is just get some appointment setters. Go and hire a great company to do appointment setting for you. They'll generate the lead for you off of cold calls and email follow up. If you find some more affluent ones, they'll nurture the lead for you and everything. Which I'm gonna give you guys the companies I worked with when I released that module about cold calling, because I don't really think people should make a lot of calls on their own. It's just a terrible, terrible way to spend your time. I encourage people to hire appointment setters and help them craft a script that's going to convert. And it's a really easy way. There's some guys that they guarantee you about 15 leads a month. I've used some that got me about 30 leads in a month, and out of those 30 leads, I'd say 18 of them were really solid leads that actually picked up the phone. And the close rate was a little bit lower than our typical leads, but it ended up working out real well because we targeted a fairly affluent niche. So hire some appointment setters, let them do the work for you, and then just have a really good offer up front. And once they get into the top of your funnel, once you get them in the pipeline, you can do the rest, Ed. You're a power closer. How do you like Windows 10? I haven't used it. I'm a typical human with I don't love change. So I'm really used to using the Windows I have, so I actually don't use it. Jacob says, can you talk a bit about ranking parasites? I've done pretty well with videos, but been trying to rank a Yelp page and it won't even index. Yeah, honestly, I know Brian has a strategy that he talked about with ranking parasites using like automated tools and whatnot. If I really want to rank a parasite and have it stick, I'm going to use the same tactics I use on a money site. I'm going to build branded links to it. I'm gonna try to build links that articulate a geo-specific location for Google to recognize. I'm going to build authoritative links. It's a perfect time to build PBNs, but I'm not gonna assault it with hundreds of thousands of links with spammy exact match anchor text, because I also found that they're tough to get those to stick. It's really tough to get those to stick. We just from some ORM campaigns I was doing, it's really tough to get them to stick once you hit them with links like that. So that's what I would do. I would do a really sustainable linking method to it, and just let it rank that way. Mike says, what kind of case studies and over-the-shoulder videos do you have planned for LPB? Oh man, we have a ton of content coming out. Wow, where do I start? Rob from Qzx900 is going to do a more advanced paper. I'm sorry, PPC pay per click module. Wow, I just can't talk right now. We're almost an hour in and I'm dying out. But yeah, he's going to do a more advanced pay-per-click module where he's going to go over how to get leads fast for clients, and that's what clients really want. And they actually even, I think, adopted my pitch, which was leads within 7 days. That's if you pitch that to a client, it's really difficult for them to not take you up on that offer because none of your competition is going to pitch something like that. So I noticed quite a few people swipe that. It works really well. And it's really easy, especially if you sell SEO, to be able to set these campaigns up, or just hire Qzx900 to do it for you. But if you can set these campaigns up and generate phone calls like that, then I'm sorry, you don't I accidentally just read the next question and completely lost my train of thought. But it's a great pitch, and being able to deliver on that pitch is important. So, he's gonna get those videos out. We have a Google Analytics, which is just gonna be in plain human English. It's not going to be some of the analytics content out there is just like ridiculous. It's like you have to be an analytics like expert to be able to even consume the content to get any better at it. So I'm going to run you through a module just really, oh, sorry about that. I'm going to run you guys through a module. It's just really like, what to look for, how to use your analytics to solve problems instead of just going in there and like, oh, I have traffic. And, it's easy to get lost in there. It's a very just expanse dashboard. So I'm going to teach you guys how to solve a bunch of problems with analytics. I'm going to teach you how to set up conversion goals really easily. We're not going to get really into Google Tag Manager. Um, because it's just for a lot of your local sites, you're not really going to need to track as many of the micro conversions as you would if you're running like a larger brand, but that's basically it. I'm gonna teach you guys how to track some really cool macro conversions on your sites, and that. So we have that planned. We're gonna do some lead gen case studies. Brian has his new maps module that's dropping. He's gonna make a new video ranking and YouTube module as well. That's going to be a little bit farther out. Just going to be honest about the YouTube. That's going to be a little bit farther out. He's really concentrating on the maps right now. And we have a ton of coaches in here that are going to give you guys some rocking content. We had Mike Milas give us the PBN training, and Josh and Mike are systems guys, and Josh does a lot of sales with me. So, we're going to get content from them for you, and, it's just we're building up our list of people that we've worked with and are just really rock stars, and we're going to get content from them as well as us. And it's just a lot of content yet to come, guys. Just it's a lot, but we're gonna try to keep it super actionable and stuff. Um, Ed Ed asks, in the LCB pre-launch video, you said you don't promote as SEO guy. What is your pitch? Yeah, I'm the guy that increases business. I'm the guy that gets you leads. I'm the guy that can increase your bottom line. You hire me, I come in, I turn your business around. If you're doing X amount of dollars, you're going to be doing quadruple X amount of dollars when I'm done with you. And that's the positioning I use, and it's just, that should always be the positioning everyone uses because they don't want an SEO guy. And I know you might not want to hear this, Ed, but they don't want an AdWords or PPC guy. Ed and Rob, I'm sorry, guys. For our coaches, they don't want a systems guy. They don't want to learn how to do sales better. What they want to do is increase their bottom line. They want to make more money from their business. They want to spend more time building their business and less time working in their business. They want to, they want to buy the new car without having to sweat about the payment. They want to buy the new house. They want to make more money from their business. They want their business to be a vehicle that allows them to get farther in life. That's what everyone wants who owns a business. That's what everyone in here should want. If you don't want that, that's crazy because that's what I want. I always want to keep building my business and expanding. So that's the exact positioning I use. You don't have to worry about your marketing when you work with me because by this time next year when you're on vacation, you can spend freely and you can go on better vacations because I took your marketing to the next level. I took your business to that next level. And that's a really hard pitch to say no to. And any guy trying to pitch ranking on page 1 in 6 months, you're not going to stand a chance up against my pitch because I'm pitching a dream. And that's what you guys should do. Oh, someone asked PMD. I'm sorry I missed that, man. It's partial match domains. So instead of like just brandname.com, so it'd be like drseuss.com. It would be like, seattleroofingpros.com. Or it's a partial match where you get the keyword partially in there and then some modifiers to make it more of a brand. Sorry I didn't expand on that. What's the scoop on LCT LPB press release service? Will you be doing more of these, and more importantly, when? I know you recommend press cable. On a side note, I'm using mass media SEO from Anthony Hayes for the time being. Any options, advice on that? Yeah, we're working. We had a massive, massive just issue with because of how many we syndicated at once. We actually had to go direct to a larger news wire to get syndication. We brokered the deal. We're getting everything set up. I want to get it back out there just as much as you guys do because I used it. That's what I like to use for my press releases. So I want it running just as bad as you do. I don't want to give a definitive time and date though, and then turn out that we can't get it done by then. But I want it to be done ASAP. I mean, we're it's not far in the distance here. I'm hoping in the next couple weeks we can relaunch it and get that taken care of. So thanks for asking about that, and that's where we're at. What are some strategies, pros and cons for ranking parasites? Well, the pros and cons are, on a lot of those, it's going to be difficult for you to really quantify what action the traffic's taking on your site. So that's one of the cons. And I'd use the strategy I went over earlier. Just use really sustainable linking methods for your parasites, and you're going to get a lot better long-term results. What do you think about the SERP Shaker plugin? Good question, Mike. I actually don't use it a lot. I know Brian used it some. I know a lot of people that are doing great things with it. I could call the developer of it a friend. Andres is a really good guy. Well, I guess Don. Was he in Don's? I think it's just Andres now, but really good developers. And Andres is a really good dude. He really ethical business guy, and I actually broker deals and work with him separately, just on some lead gen stuff. So I know he's a good guy that makes sure his products work. And you know as far as the viability of using it to make an income, I know some people rocking it with it. I know it's also not like a plug and play. It's not something you upload on a site and just automatically start generating these monster sites that make money. It's a lot of testing. It's a lot of stuff dealing with servers and keeping that many pages indexed. So it's not something I'd recommend for beginners at all. So that's something to consider. But I mean, does it work? Absolutely. There's people making a lot of money with that thing. Do you use call or text on the lead gen sites, giving clients the option to text? That's from Danny. Yeah, man, I'll tell you what else works really well. And Matt just proved this concept. Oh, so did Ed and Rob actually. So live chat on sites. Matt installed one on one of the lead gen sites he had rented out, and it's just started performing a lot better. And Ed and Rob installed one on their Qzx900 site, and that started getting them a lot more leads too. I know a lot of people do this like pay per call type attitude, and honestly, for me, it's whatever works. I mean, form leads are insane. I have clients that we generate 40 to 100 form leads a month, and I mean that's it's an integral part of their closing process. I mean, as long as your client understands when you get the lead, they need to follow up and get in touch with the person and try closing the sale, then you'll be okay. And a lot of times it's good just to get some technology on there that lets them like schedule a call where they add their like phone number in and someone from the client office can call right away. The sooner you get on the phone, get their number and get on the phone. If that's the only thing they get, just have the phone number box there, have them input their phone number, and boom, have someone from your client's office call and start closing them because that works really well. I don't do anything you can possibly use to generate leads for a client can make you look awesome. So Joseph, is FCS working as well now as it was during the original LCT FCS videos? Absolutely not, Joe. And I'll tell you why. First off, a lot of people don't take the time to really build out amazing properties. Okay. And now more than ever, um, Google does not want to see a lot of those properties build out and trying to game the SERPs with them. They're just they're continuously getting devalued. And if you want those to really work, you need to build them out just like I show you in the videos where you're really building lots of content instead of all the syndicated stuff. Just because the thousands and thousands of people that saw those videos and started emulating that strategy, it's just that's how things work. Strategies change over time. So you're gonna have to add unique content to it on a larger scale than what I originally suggested, and you're gonna have to do sustainable link building to them. You're gonna have to treat them well. So I'd almost say maybe skip the FCS, not necessarily, but I mean if you know you're not gonna dedicate the type of time needed to make them sustainable properties, then I wouldn't do it. And you can find better tier ones to build your links on. So. Sam says, you mentioned that if you have no sites ranking that we should set up local lead gen sites in smaller markets. What niches would you target and which ones would you stay away from? Honestly, just really crazy stuff. Appliance repair. And you can generate crazy amounts of leads with that stuff. Pest control, stuff like that. Dent repair, windshield repair. Um, Stuff like that, just really non-competitive, but then they could essentially be worth something to you, but mainly just for the proof. They'll rank quick and you can say, hey, look what I rank. So that'll mean a lot to most clients. Dave said, I make your phone ring more often. Yeah, great pitch. Just let them know, basically when you sell, and I'll get into this, I will do some sales training for you guys. That's to answer your question, Mike. We're gonna do some sales training as well. That's amazing. Like I said, I'll always say this: if you can sell, you'll never, ever, ever in your life go broke, ever. So. That's a good pitch too, Dave. I make your phone ring more often. Exactly. And clients know how many times if their phone rings 100 times, they should be able to tell you. Some businesses won't, and that's okay. But a lot of businesses should be able to say, hey, if our phone, if we get 100 leads, we can close 20 of them, or if we get 10 phone calls, we're gonna turn one, two, three into clients. Doesn't matter. Then you can just tell them, hey, the first thing we can do to boost your business is instead of you getting 10 calls, let's try to get you 50 and do the math for them right then and there. You just said you closed 2 out of 10, so if I send you 50, that means you're going to have 5 times more business, and it's a really good way to get them closed. Alan says, your pitch, any videos coming up on exactly what you say in your pitch and how you do it? Yeah, I guess I'll give away the secret sauce since everyone wants to know how to sell. And I don't mind. I love people. I love when I see my pitch around the internet. And I do. I see my pitch around the internet more often than you would think. And I'm like, man, that's cool. I'll be like, I'm glad that's working well for them. But FCS, Dave, FCS is oh man, FCS Networker. It's the It's the software that makes the Web 2.0s, and you can auto post to Web 2.0 sites and stuff. That that's what FCS is. I have a training in it in LCT, and it's just over time Google eventually devalues certain properties. So you really have to you really have to dot your I's and cross your T's if you want to use something like that. What about GSA? Is it still working? Joe, I don't mess. Listen, I'm going to tell you, GSA works amazing, but not for me. I don't use it. But I know some guys that are using GSA to rank in very huge markets still, and it's working great. But again, it's not about sending the GSA to the money sites. It's more, how creative you can get on your tier ones to juice those up. But a lot of time with local rankings and stuff, you guys don't need to build second tiers. You guys don't need to use automated software to juice up tier ones. You know, I'd say 8 or 9 times out of 10, of real just your make sure your technical SEOs squared away. You don't have a bunch of glaring technical issues. Make sure that on page is taken care of. Just go through right through my training, guys. Make sure everything. Don't be lazy. Don't skip a step. Make sure that's taken care of, and then just do some link building like I'm going to show you guys in the next couple weeks. Oh, that's another thing. I have link building videos dropping this coming week, how to build some really cool authority links. And that's going to be another module we're going to keep dripping out, is just different link building tactics and stuff. So lots of stuff for you guys. Don't ever worry about that. Can't wait for the link building. I know, man. I can't either. That stuff's actually fun. The on page was I don't want to say it was difficult for me to make, but it's not a lot of fun. You can only get so creative when you're doing screaming frog audits and tweaking meta descriptions. So, but it gets fun. I'm going to show you guys some pretty cool tricks. I don't see anyone else using this stuff, and it's all about authority links. We don't want to make BS links, and I'm going to show you pretty cool proprietary system that I'm not going to say I innovated it, because that would be kind of arrogant of me, but I don't see anyone else in our space talking about the strategies I use, and if they are, they probably stole them from me. Oh, I'm kidding, but no, seriously, that guy, it's definitely pretty proprietary. Chris said, "Did you say you'll be releasing your sales pitch? I came in at the tail end of it." Yeah, Chris, I guess I'm gonna let it go. I'm not gonna lie. I did entertain kind of keeping a lot of the sales stuff to myself, but I have to share with you guys. I'm not gonna be greedy about it. I'll share some really cool sales stuff, and you're unfortunately, those videos will probably be long because I'm really passionate about sales, and I'll be geeking out over the sales stuff. So you mentioned you no longer use SEO Power Suite. I use them. As wondering what was it that bothered you for you to stop using and switch. Oh, you know what? We started using the My Site Auditor a lot just because we were putting them on different. I love you too, Dave Barber. I love you too. But but I just we started using that type of stuff. But there's nothing wrong with SEO Power Suite, man. Not by any mean. That was great. Brian said my audio is coming in bad. I'm sorry, guys. We're about to wrap up anyway. We're a little over an hour. I want to get wrapped up. I want to eat an extremely late lunch, or I guess it would be early dinner at this point, and finish my day out strong. Okay, Neil said my audio is fine, so maybe it's your connection, Brian. Danny said, Do you guys mostly work with contractors or professionals, or what? Paper lead is your main source of income or monthly marketing? Thanks. Actually, paper lead isn't my main source. I know Brian switched to a really neat proprietary model he kind of innovated, or a hybrid model he innovated. So he does a lot of paper lead. Matt does all lead gen. Matt is like 100% lead gen. He does pretty well with it too. He's a sharp guy. My stuff's mainly monthly client retainers. I'm having more and more lead gen projects, mostly with Matt, since he moved down here to work in office, and but I'm mostly client. I like to work with more affluent niches. I know Matt works in a higher end, um I don't know if you call it a construction industry, but it's a little bit more high end than like roofing or something. It's a little different. I don't really want to drop his niche on the Webby. He'd probably come into my office and throw something at me for that. But I prefer working with like the two clients I signed before I jumped on this Webby. Both were it was actually one client with two different businesses, but they were both in the cosmetic surgeon industry. I know Brian works with a lot of lawyers. The higher ticket, the more affluent the industry, the more you're going to be able to charge, the more they're going to see value in your service. So, Lee, do you use Scrapebox? Not really anymore. I still have a VA that does a lot of scraping for us. We also use G-Scraper a bunch when we were doing a contact form submission for client acquisition. But excuse me. But Scrapebox is an amazing tool, really amazing tool. If you have a use for it, it's top of the line. Um, Brian said, "Where are you?" I'm in my office. My office is located right outside of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It is nothing to do in this area, but it is peaceful. I like raising my son here, and yeah, the cool little office space and not super exciting, but like I said, it's really nice. Like Sunday drives are very scenic and tranquil, and it's not all the it's not all the hype of large cities, so I like it. Robert said, "Excellent first Q&A, Webby. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks everyone for coming. Absolutely. Where are you guys based? I mean, like I said, I'm in Gettysburg, but I don't really work with any local clients in my area. It's just not an affluent enough area. Um, the work I do around here is for family businesses. I have a lot of entrepreneurs in the family I help, and obviously I don't get paid for that. And then a couple friends that I went to school with or hung out with when I was younger, I help them if they ever get a business. But that's basically all I do in my area. I work a lot. I had a partner in Seattle. We did a lot of work in Seattle for a while. I had a partner in LA. We used to rank for SEO in LA and all those different terms. We ended up splitting, the partner and I. It was, yeah, so that happened. And now that you got my life story. Ed says Hanover's a lovely place. It really is. Ed and Rob came down and hung out with us, man. I mean, it's nice. You have to have a sense of humor if you come to Hanover. It's a little bit rustic. It's a little bit like, wow, look at this tiny city. It's kind of like, but it's a lot of really nice area, really, really nice scenery on the outskirts and stuff. But yeah, Rob and Ed, you guys will come back. Don't be a hater, Ed. You'll come back to good old Hanover. Joseph, what are your thoughts on Nathan Gotch's Super Web 2.0 article? Do non-aged new 2.0s work quickly? I actually don't know who Nathan Gotch is or his Super Web 2.0 stuff. Maybe drop the link for it in my PM, Joe, and I'll take a look for you. Um, yeah, age 2.0s are just always going to be better in my opinion. Oh, we have someone from Vancouver, Canada. Actually, the client I closed was up in Canada. Thank you for your time, Mark. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Dwayne. Glad you jumped on. Ed said my motel's already booked. That's right, buddy. We know how to party if you come to Hanover. Not really. We don't really party that much. We're just kind of boring people, but we have a lot of laughs. Thanks for that link, Joe. I'll check that out after the Webby. It's about 4:15. We had about an hour, 15 minutes in, guys. I'm probably going to shut it down. Um, I really appreciate everyone that jumped into LPB. We're going to continue to try to grow in the community. If you have any feedback, let us know. Just like with the file organization in Facebook, or we actually have what we think is a forum solution that's not quite a forum, but it's a forum solution. It'll make it easier for us to manage and moderate, easier for you guys to engage with, so you can see like historical, the historical data of questions that were asked and stuff. Lots more content to come, guys. Like I said, we're ripping the trial away. We're gonna boost the price up. You guys are grandfathered in, but I'm gonna hit you guys with some pretty ninja stuff. So I only want people who are dead serious about taking action and making some money with us to be in here. So again, thanks a lot for showing up. If you guys have any questions, write them down, ask them in the group, tag us. You're never gonna bother us. It's what we're here for. And lots more to come, guys. I will see you again very soon for more Q&A Webbies. I had fun with you guys. So we're going to shut it off later on.